So the first thing I need is because this skippable region is something we can use. Yeah, no, don't need this. Okay, I need a class. I'm not good at making up names, so I'll just use what AI generated, I guess. Code scanner, code iterator. It's also not a very good name though. Code scanner, come on, what? Need a thing that contains a vector. Yeah, this. So that would be the code scanner? Nah. What the hell? That's a good name. No, I'll just use this code scanner. I have no clue, dude. Just whatever. not sure. I mean, I would say this thing does start outside the comment. Well, I mean, the start of the comment is detectable as well as the end. So there is nothing in front of it, but the whole comment is. But then where would I point? Does that mean I can also point to the begin and the end? Not of a comment. I want to completely skip over that. But okay. So even if we would add a character after it, or allow beginning with pointing to the new line here, then we want to skip completely over it, going backwards. So there is nothing after that. I guess it has to be tested. Or, I don't know, kind of should work. So instead of calling test iterator, I think I'm just going to construct an iterator directly. How do we want to do that? Well, code scanner iterator sounds nice. That's just to end. So that would be pointing one past this thing. And then we must be up to do minus eta. Now it should point before it, which is annoying because what is that? R begin. Maybe I should just use begin. That's nonsense or not. No, I want to create it from an offset. Let's allow using offset. I don't know, shall I just make it 1 based? So the offset is 1 here. See what the AI had. Something that returns an iterator. Get iterator. Sure, no, okay. Just short. It also doesn't work. Let's just work with. I mean, it's not really an iterator then. It is something that looks like an iterator, but I want to work with indexes. So iter itself can be compared with an integer, and then 0 means just like that. Yes. No, I'm working with int anyway. It's maybe a bit weird to start at 1. Let's say Well, that should fail, right? Yeah, it wasn't compiled with debugging. I think. Or was it? Actually, it was. Why is it not failing then? Oh, asshole. Okay. No, it fails. I think so. Start. skip all the regions, index left, less, because we're done with the other one. Could have been the last one though, but if it is not, then you have a new skippable of range left offset, which you can set. And I still have to decrement it, offset, because we set it on top of the range here. So what happens if same as here, right? Ah shit. It does also have code scanner in it. guy still doesn't work. Because we are not filling the vector. Oops, that is not possible. Things const. Now for the very first test case, we just have one element in the vector. Being a skippable region from 0 till I don't know, the length of the input. Is that correct? Yes, into the first character covered, the first character of a comment, yeah. And it's character 1 beyond the last character. It's kind of strange. I don't think I did that. Index of the character. Index of the last character covered. This one, the character. aka the new line, as offset, so that would be one less than the length. Now I had expected it to work. Offset is 7. Did not work. Break name. Run this. Covers end is 6. So 0, that is the start, yep. That's the first character of the comment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, looks okay to me. Then we're going to create an iterator. Iterator says offset 8. No, that's strange, of course, because, yeah, well, no. That should have been 7 then. 8 is a bit nonsense. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is one past the end. Hey Ricky. A formatter is just something that adds and removes white space, indentation and stuff. New lines. You also call it a beautifier sometimes, I think. Code beautifier or something like that. But if you read the description, then you get the sub-problem that I'm working on. The sub-problem being that we have a string that is C++ code, but it can contain string literals, character literals, C comments and C++ comments. And then I want to iterate backwards over all the code characters, skipping all white space and comments and string literals. And the way I'm doing that is by, well, scanning forward. Well, backwards is just backwards. So you have to scan forwards and then make a table with where all the skippable regions are. And then we can run backwards. So now we have a skippable region. You have only one of them, and well, that is index 0. And the skippable range definitely not what I wanted. I think skippable region probably. Six means that is then the offset in the string that is the last character of the next region on the left. That would be the new line, which is indeed at 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that looks good. And offset is currently 7. Because we point 1 past it. So the decrement is going to do the following. We decrement the 7 to 6. That is larger than 0. Now this is equal, which means we found the end of the next skippable region. Then it says offset becomes, okay, so now we should jump to the beginning of that region. And the region must be reduced, so I'm just going to do next. Print offset. Offset is now 0, the jump to the beginning. So now it points there, and this is the previous region, but there is no other region, so that should be -1 now. And then we are in its skippable range. So now does it equal -1? Yes, it does. Then we set the skippable range, weird, whatever. Also to -1. And then do continue, and then we decrement offset again, because we have to skip over it, and we are now at the first character. So that becomes -1, it's no longer larger than 0, so then we're done. And then this is also correct. So yeah, it works. But I did not implement what you call simple. It's not simple at all. Okay. Now to implement, you see this is not correct, of course. So I'm going from 5 to, that's the problem, 6 and 7. Let's add the next test. And I had that generated by an AI, so you can copy it. I guess this one. This creates a string. I'll just copy the comments as well. Why is that written like that? Start at Y, index 18. Does it look like 18 to me? Looks like 20. Totally 20. AI still can't count. I don't know what that is. Okay, let's create it. Code scanner. Sorry, code scanner, scanner 1 edge. Oh, it couldn't do this one, so it called it adjust. Well, I could. So maybe should not do this one or call it 2, but then again we probably get another 2. Just gonna call it 2 for now. String for the fuck. I'll call this one 0 then. Yeah, then this uses the test iterator function. We start at 20, and then it decrements, and it expects to get the characters Y, and this is the first one, and then a space. But no, I'm skipping white space as well. I think it should skip white space, right? Yeah, why not? So from the Y we go directly to the semicolon. There's no white space. And then we get a 1, and then we get an equal sign, and then we get the X. That is what it should be. And then I have to write a test iterator in order to detect that it still doesn't work. Okay, let's do it. Maybe I can. No, I can just write it myself, I think. Test iterator. So this takes a code scanner. And this is an array of characters. Let's make it a vector of characters. Yeah, let's keep an index in the expected index, start at 0. And then we have some kind of loop. We begin with asserting that the dereferenced iterator that I don't have yet whatever, iterator must be equal to expected. Do I need the iterator? And that will dereference to the y. So that would be this, right? Scanner cat iterator initial offset. What? Sneeze coming up. Maybe slightly weird, but nah, I can make an end, I guess. An end that I can use for both past the end or before the beginning. It's horrible, but my end works on both ends. Return -1, hopefully that works. Probably not. I can just use the default constructor. Let's do that. Default constructor is end. I don't have a code scanner then, damn it. Yep, not working. So, well, it would work if I just make it a null thingy, but I just have to construct a thing from code scanner and -1. That would work. I think. Except that we're doing this as well. It left region offset, and offset is -1. Guess that works. Not efficient, but hey. Yeah, I think the end constructor should be a little bit faster. Yeah, okay, we'll do it like this. I just pass this. -1 implied. And you can't do that because it's not defined yet. It starts to get very annoying. Get character. Must return a character. Jesus, what a noise. Yeah, that's nonsense. Okay, and now we get something that is unexpected because it doesn't skip anything, because we don't have skippable regions initialized. Lots of written code that isn't tested at all yet. But at least now we have something that doesn't work again, so it asserts. Therefore, now we can try to fix that by implementing the constructor of the code scanner here. So instead of doing this, it skips everything at the moment. That is, the first character was already filling. Now we have to do the real thing. How to do that? That's a lot of work, unfortunately. We have to loop over all possible offsets, starting at 0 up till and including and then yeah, there are states. Depending on the state, we want to do a certain test. Let's just keep it simple. And not sure that, I think the hard literal is only necessary because it can contain a double quote, which is then not the beginning of a string literal. But I don't think a character literal can contain the beginning of a C command, right? Or a C++ command. Well, theoretically it can, and I think you only get a warning. In principle, it's a character is little is an int or something. That when you shouldn't do it, but maybe. Yeah, let's just pretend that we want to skip from single quote to single quote as well. And then of course you have the state code. That's where we start in. Because the string must begin with code. If it would not begin with code, then there is no way you can know what it is. So it is just a given. Offset 0 is always code. That is, unless it begins with something, of course. So what I'm going to do is switch on the state. I'm just going to code. Well, switch. Hello, code. I'm going to write code for each case. String literal, character literal, comments. Special case, backslash new lines. If, so I need to get a character. Or shall I just access it directly? Maybe I also should special case the last one, because I want to look ahead one character all the time. So if that's not possible, then we are already at the last character, which might be closing only string literal, character literal, and CBB comments. But on the other hand, it has to, and if it doesn't, then well, then we pretend that it does, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's not allowed, but you have to do something sane. I think I should just pretend that it just ends. If we are not at code, it ends. If we are at code and the very last character opens something else, it cannot open this. It cannot open this because, well, sorry, but you have only one character left. It could open a string literal, which is then not allowed, but I'm gonna ignore it anyway then, because if I have only one quote, yeah. Well, I do want to skip it, so maybe, I don't know. I mean, what are you gonna do? So if you start on a quote that they kind of are inside the string literal then, and then you have to go to the left. So I think you just, the decrement should do nothing in that case, which is very painful. Oh, no, yeah, maybe not nothing, but... I don't know. That's anyway a special case that. So we do first that, and then we do the case where offset equals input size -1. I think I'm just gonna assume that it cannot happen. So if the state is code, then it's not allowed to have anything. I'm not even going to look at it. So then we're just done. And if it's not code, then it must end. Yeah, so kind of like if state is unequal code, terminates. Maybe we should call it a close region. Terminate sounds like the Terminator. Okay, what else kind of state do we need? So this would add something to my vector. Which means, well, this vector. So I want to add a skippable region which only has two things, start and an end. And end then is equal to the current offset. And the beginning of that we must know. That would be the point where the last region was opened. So I'm going to do region start. So I'm gonna make this a lambda. A lambda takes an offset, but the offset is then region end. And that should add to my vector. Why is that thing not have an underscore? And let's begin with this one. If we are inside a string literal, then we're looking for double quote. Simplistically said, if let's show C equals double quote stuff. Now we can do the next character is this, because offset is small enough. So I added the -1 here. Isn't it like always at the current offset? Might as well grab that by reference as well then. Oh no, I cannot, because it's before the offsets exist. Well, I could define offset here, then grab it by reference. I have a different offset here though, but then again, if it exists, however, now this could be an escaped quote. So if C equals an backslash, then the next character must be, could be a double quote, but I don't care. I just want to skip it, always. So if the character is a backslash, then I want to increment offset. And then continue my loop, right? Should be able to do that. So if we are inside a string literal and we see a backslash, skip the next character. No, looks good. Can do the exact same thing for just the character literal, basically. Except then C must be equal to a single quote. Right. Oh yeah, I had another exception that goes even here. If C equals a backslash and NC equals the new line, that's a backslash new line, and we have to completely ignore those as well. Like independent of where we are, even in the middle of a comment or a string little or wherever, those things have no meaning. If we are in the C comment, then we are looking for a star. And there is nothing to escape, right? Any star slash closes the C comment. Can you do a backslash star? Maybe I think my syntax highlighter, I should know that. So if you have a comment here and then we close it, and that's wrong. Now, what happens if I put a backslash in front of it? See, it's just still closing it. You cannot escape it. You can run, but you cannot escape a star C comment. I must increment offset first because the region uses the current offset. Skip, jump, go to. Yeah, I mean, we are in code and we see in double quote. I think that's always a string little. Or is it? Yeah, I have all kinds of weird stuff these days though, which scared me, like a raw string. I feel like I have to support it as well. Ouch. Oh no. Yeah, well, maybe later, not now. Let's I can't type. And it's too dark here, man. And C equals Charlish as well. Open region CP comments. I don't have to see my keyboard for the normal characters. The alpha characters, but special characters. Still have to define the open region. Open region is probably also need this. Actually, this one does have. This is it, state, right? Call it S. Grab everything by reference. Don't want it to be confused with this. Probably it wouldn't. Nah, it wouldn't be. But I could be. I just have to set region start to. I don't even know. Sorry, I don't even need to know the state. Actually, just the fact that it started. That's all. Oh, okay. No. State must be set. No, that's a good reason to call it S then. Yes. Now, if it compiles, use of undeclared identifier skippable regions. Did you mean a thingy behind it? Yes, I did. Well. Scan back. Input. Yes. Skippable regions 1. Yeah, there is only one. That would be this one. 7, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yay! That did it correctly. But the test iterator is not working. Oh, that's because I'm not skipping a white space. It only skips skippable regions. That does not include white space at the moment. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I have to play some Clash of Clans. Yeah, I started with that again. Don't ask. Yeah, so what I still have to do is I could skip white space in the iterator, just going backwards. Or I can add all the white space as skippable regions as well. But. Let me have a look what the white space is, how easy that is to detect. I have already a scanner. This one is better, I think. The one that I wrote is it's not as nice. But that one also skips white space. Yeah, see what a mess, man. This is my previous code. It definitely does not look as good. Anyway, more white space, standard is space. Or okay, so that there is a apparently I count backslash new line as white space. So then the new line, if you go backwards, the new line is already white space. But then we have to look ahead, or well, the other way, the other direction, to see if there is a backslash in front of the new line, because then I have to skip that as well. But this is just a single character. So yeah, not too hard. When is white space set? Or when is more white space set, rather? Never. Oh yeah, looking for. Oh, this is the any here. So in the case of any, now we are not inside a comment, and then the comment is not white space. So the any here is the code. And in that case, if we find that and it is not already more white space, then we found the start of white space. Yeah, it's the same test basically. So can I quickly fix this? Because if I put it in the iterator, that would mean if we do this and we encounter not a skippable range, but we encounter this white space, then I should also go in a loop. So you can do that here basically. I do need to get the character then. How the hell do I get a character in the iterator? So code code scanner get character, right? Yeah. Ta-da, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-da. That works. It's pretty cool. So this whole thing now worked. Well, that's already impressive. I'm gonna add my my torture test, which is the next one probably. This one, yep. Example from prompt, from human. Prompt was written by a human. I'm gonna do this one. No, it's only a string view instead of a string. Dude, make up your mind. Let's make this a string view too. Yeah, so this would not do that. No. 94. This is 0. 94 to that side. But how many escapes did I have? 1, 2. 3. Completely wrong again. Okay, this is 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is 9. So yes, I have to add one more. Or rather, I have to subtract something from the column. So we have to subtract 34. And here I have to subtract 35. And then past this point, 36. And 37. So it is 133 minus 37. That is, why do I take a calculator? I can't even see the calculator. 133 minus, what did you say? 37? Is 96. According to my calculations. And then we will encounter a closing brace first, yes. And then this is a comment. And then we get a string literal. Oh, I want to see the quotes of the string literal. I think we are now skipping those two. Very annoying. So I think we're going to get this, and then followed by O, comma R, comma C, comma, wait, loop A, M, underscore, I, M. If you start to think about, oh, I can find the keys in the dark, then instantly you can't find them anymore. My macro, yep, that should be correct. Going backwards. The first one is already wrong. New line. Oh, the minus is skipping it. But we start at a new line. So yeah, the new line then is the first one. Yeah, okay, this theoretically then it would not be allowed to start on the new line, so I'm gonna add something else. Well, exclamation mark is ridiculous. X, whatever. We start at the 7, and then before this I want to see an X. And it worked. Good. Well, yeah, nice progress. I'm gonna play. I have to attack in war for Clash of Clans.